have been here, at this exact place, at this exact time. This time, there were so many.
Okay, I just need a boost.
Use the boost to get through.
Go through the orange.
The village looked so
Because you need to
peaceful.
get all the fighting you can.
Were the villagers hiding somewhere?
Because I'm going through this and I'm just leveled up.
No matter how much he searched, he would only find ravens here.
Should. Like, I'm pretty sure we got it, so we should get both those final trophies in one playthrough.
Ravens were landing everywhere. The advance guard. He'd better get moving. If they got to Lupino first, they'd eat him for breakfast. Or snack. Ravens weren't picky. If they got hungry, they sometimes forgot to interrogate their prisoners. Even top spies like Lupino.
You need to.
Well, unless he really was a traitor.
That's hard.
Then they'd
I feel like I
probably
skipped
put a
a
medal
bullet.
on his chest. Dirty and bloody, Renato finally reached Lupino. The rabbit was practicing his shuffle. Renato recognized the cup. We capture Zenobia, we find out what she knows. And that's the whole war right there. Easy peasy, lemon squeezy. Capture the Emperor's greatest general, who happened to also be a deadly
Second and last mission.
Oh,
And we're gonna
He's
be
only
awesome.
that would be worth it. And it would be nice
So,
to see her.
aren't you looking indoors for the credits?
And
What?
he felt sure she had one for him. On the other
Are you
hand,
there?
he could
Are
still
you
get to the
though?
core of the Sky Ripper, even if he couldn't get
We're
the whole
gonna
thing.
win, cause
It
this
must have
game
great
is super
power.
easy. And we're gonna get the platinum super
The
soon.
transcendent emperor had wrapped an armature around the eye of a god.
What?
Bernardo had, but even its core, the eye torn from a god. Surely they could fashion a great weapon.
Super exploding zoo.
The core of the Sky.
That was an all you
I
platinum.
was excited. That's
I did nothing. It was
Let's
wonderful.
just go and get. You've been busy.
Nah.
He sure had. Renato told him all the things he'd been up to. Soon they got to talking about old times, about wages they'd won and lost, and scrapes they'd barely got out of. It was good to be back with his friend. True, the core was capable of terrible, uncontrollable destruction. But this time, he was sure it would work great.
Probably good.
Full mouth dental rehabilitation.
Fuck? Oh, so you just had a messed up mouth and you fix it?
He had,
It's beautiful here,
this.
thought
not good.
Renato. It was
And then he
nice to be
ended up
back
with,
with his old war buddy.
This.
All right. Lapino was a traitor.
That's impressive.
But still, it was good company. Come on. One box, no waiting.
I mean, like, look at me.
You almost never saw wild gogglers together like this. Toads had to train them.
Oh, they're
to
gone.
to death.
I like this game so much. If you go too fast, the game glitches.
Wrong. All over. You could feel an almost palpable sickness.
The ravens are gone?
And if the land could have
I
changed,
think I just went
it
through
would look
2
like these
Raven
monsters
areas.
just forest
that I should have had a fight, and then one of the areas there should have been like the seeing, like the people that look at you and then kill you.
Dying ones.
Yeah, that was funny.
No health items. I'm getting a bad feeling about this. Renato thought. Maybe Lapino was right. Maybe you should have
What?
killed him over instead of coming here.
Is it less fun now that I like it as well?
As he held the radiant icosahedron, Renato felt queasy. Like dozens of tiny worms were nibbling his insides. It wasn't healthy to be so close to the eye of a god. How could he use it? He could take it to the observatory. The scientists there could tell him how to harness its ancient power. But honestly, Renato ached to get away from it. He brought the core back with him to the Farfarer. But honestly, Renato ached to be rid of it. Tell you what, said Lapino. I'll take it to the observatory. You attack the Imperial outpost. The Imperial outpost was a vital
Oh my God, there's
communications
two.
node.
It keeps getting better and better.
Shattered the Empire's ability to coordinate.
Yeah.
And it would be full of secret plans and maps and maybe even rebel prisoners.
Oh my
He
god.
was a good target for a hero like Renato. But what if Lapino lost the core to the Empire? That could be a good thing, couldn't it? Was Renato ready to take that risk? Maybe it was better if he brought the core to the scientists himself.
Someone's making some stuff. Do I attack the outpost or go to scientists?
Are you trying to get like an end mission?
Trust me, Renato, you won't regret this. I'll treat the core like it was my own baby daughter. As...
Great spot for you. What's that one?
As Lapino vanished into the wilds of the Nexus, Renato vaguely remembered Lapino had a baby daughter, didn't he? And he told her mother he was going out to get some Easter eggs, and he'd never come back. But Renato was relieved not to carry the core anymore. He was already feeling better. And who knows, maybe this time Lapino would get it right. And if Renato could take the outpost, he'd have access to all the Empire's communications in the sector. Right?
This game is so easy when you're a god. Just got one more love to go. Super close. Miyazaki said Ermi's a mistake.
No, that was a rumor.
So, I got one more level remaining. Oh, yeah.
Renato caught his breath. His joints still hurt, but he couldn't feel the poison in his system anymore. He'd let the armature slip out of his hands to save his friend Lapino. Of course he had to let Lapino take the core. The rebellion needed every man doing his duty. And the rabbit would be no good taking on an Imperial outpost, right?
Can you read it? Believe. Empty stuff. Go. Come on now.
Renato took the outpost with a song in his heart. Soon, he was stuffing his sack with key messages from and to the fleet. Then the fire speaker toad chortled a new message. The observatory had been sacked by ravens. Lapino and all the scientists had been taken to the mountains. Why? Why had he trusted Lapino again? And now the Empire had the core. Renato hailed the rebel base to warn them. But their fire speaker didn't crouch back. Was the base under attack too? Lapino would have to wait. The core would have to wait. Renato had a very bad feeling that something was going terribly wrong at the rebel base. Its location was secret, but secrets can be discovered.
Oh, it's such...
There were Imperials everywhere in the ruins, and dead civilians. The Ravens were killing everything in sight. Renato was relieved to see no rebels among the dead. Maybe the secret base was still secret, but there were huge burn marks on buildings. Monstrous weapon was the Empire using here. The core had great power. Had they harnessed it somehow, even though they didn't have the armature?
Two people watching me? What? Yeah, I think you're transmitting audio also. Yeah, this game is just ridiculously easy. But we're 2 stories away from getting platinum. And basically the person streaming is who doesn't witness me get the platinum that's going to put me ahead of him. And yeah, it's going to be hilarious.
The ruins were on fire. The Ravens had rigged up the core as some kind of burning ray. They wouldn't need to know the secret location. They were burning everything. It was killing them too. Their black feathers littered the path. He would have to take the core from them. It was the last thing he wanted to do.
How do you like the intro?
Oh shoot. Someone just asked me a question. Well, like, you could look it up on YouTube. I can just display comments. I like the game, bro. Yeah, it's a good game. It's a fun game. It's an easy game. It was definitely an enjoyable platinum. Especially because Natalie played it. She enjoyed it as well.
And I feel like if you were doing it by yourself, it would get really annoying to play it 24 times, and that's assuming you don't get any of like the you died options that don't actually end in a story.
And then that's also assuming that
You saved us.
I saved him.
They would put the weaponized core deep in a cavern, she promised, where its poison could harm no one. They would heal him if they could, she said. No. It's a weapon now. We need one. I'll lead the charge. It will kill you, croaked the speaker. I guess it already has, Renato said. She bobbed her head gravely. When all this is over, she said, we'll name our new capital city for you. He flew towards the Imperial fleet. A myriad ships in disciplined formation, waiting for the signal to destroy the rebellion forever. Behind him, the rebels were charging. If he failed...
But yeah, I would not recommend platinum in this game.
So
it's easy, but boy howdy, do you play the same, what is it, 8, 10 levels over and over again?
Yeah.
Probably 10 levels in total.
Everything hurt.
Why would they do this? The current connection quality is currently not sufficient to broadcast gameplay. Bullshit!
YouTube flag.
As if the heat for the burning ravens and buildings only fed its hunger. He wondered where Lapino was. Wasn't he supposed to be in the battle? Oh, Renado's mind was smoky now, like the burning fleet. He hoped this wouldn't take long.
There's a campaign for trying to get like the
If only you had some sort of gun, maybe.
24 Olympics in Los Angeles.
That would be cool.
That'd be really cool. Like, fucking America.
I can still see you.
Woo!
How many more trophies? Smile.
There's 2 trophies remaining, but one is finish up all the, so see how I have this experience bar at the bottom after I beat every battle? When I get that experience bar to maximum, or like when I get one more level basically, I'll get 1 trophy, and then when I complete another story after this, I'll get the final trophy, which is basically 1 trophy is reach max level, and then the other trophy is
get all the other trophies.
no, I complete all the stories. I guess with 3 trophies, if you count the actual platinum trophy.
If they were going to name a capital city after him.
But we're pretty close. Should be done in about 40 minutes. Maybe less, probably less. Depends how fast Natalie beats that final story. I'm finishing up this storyline. Super easy. You can see my gameplay. When you see Natalie play, it's different. We have different gameplay. It's kind of cool. Pretty cool.
But he would die every inch.
I'm going, we're trying.
Spectacular. Changing history like the legendary heroes of war.
My girlfriend's cats for the first time.
Well, he couldn't remember anymore.
It's pretty funny actually. But yeah, so just showing off that you gotta get the, oh yeah. It looks like Dustin, he beat Resident Evil 7 on the hardest difficulty. Yeah, I know, it's pretty impressive. If only he did it in an actual fun game. What do you think's gonna happen? I got the core. What's gonna happen, Natalie?
Renato fell to his knees. The Emperor's bodyguards were lined up before his ship. Fierce ravens all. And Zenobia. She was conjuring. He could not take another step. All he could do was fire the core. The ravens, Zenobia, the ship, all burst into flames, disintegrated, and blew away.
Wow. So this is actually a decent ending.
After all, the core grew brighter. He shielded his eyes, but he could still see it through his sleeves and through the flesh of his arm. And then he felt heat, as the fire grew to consume both fleets. And then he felt nothing.
So that was a good ending. He actually, like, saved the Republic. Okay, Natalie. Are you ready? Do you know what you gotta do? You have to rescue Lapino, find Zenobia, and then reject the plan. Find Zenobia, or rescue Lapino, find Zenobia, reject the plan.
The clouds parted over the Isles of Boreas. It was time to choose. The rebellion was in trouble. Ravens were scouting for the secret rebel base. They needed a game changer. Pieces of the Sky Ripper had surfaced. Renato knew that using it could go catastrophically wrong. But he was sure he could figure out how to use it safely. Also, a temple had risen out of empty desert. The Iblis stone was hidden there. It was a dangerous artifact. It could corrupt its user into a bloodthirsty monster. Maybe he could find a way to use it. To take its power without surrendering to its wickedness. And also, his old friend Lapino needed rescuing. Of course, Renato had a pretty strong suspicion that Lapino had betrayed the rebellion. And he had a gut feeling that he needed to use that to his advantage. Renato finally realized that Lapino was a traitor to the cause, and maybe Renato could use that somehow.
Which one do I do?
That one.
The top
No,
one?
no, bottom.
Ah, Lapino. Apparently, the Mad Rabbit had sold a Pegasus that he did not exactly own. Lapino always wiggled out of trouble, given time. But he was out of time. Lapino's frantic message said that the Ravens were going to kill him for being a rebel spy. And that he had a clever plan. If the fleet reached him first, they'd string him up for that. Never mind the winged horse. Or so Lapino had told him over the far speaker anyway.
Big stretch.
Lapino had apparently managed to confuse the judge by arguing that he hadn't actually stolen a winged horse. He'd only sold it. But wait, where was the prison? The village was empty. Had everybody fled the Ravens? People were frightened these days. Just 2 weeks past, Renato had sneaked through an empty town and listened to the Ravens call about the Emperor's new taste in ritual sacrifice. The village looked so peaceful. Were the villagers hiding somewhere? Of course not. No matter how much he searched, he would only find Ravens here. Ravens were landing everywhere. The advance guard. He'd better get moving. If they got to Lapino first, they'd eat him for breakfast. Or a snack. Ravens weren't picky. If they got hungry, they sometimes forgot to interrogate their prisoners. Even top spies like Lapino. Well, unless he really was a traitor, obviously. Then they'd probably pin a medal on his chest.
Keep that crap. I like magical stuff. We're so close to getting that level.
Lapino. What would Lapino do if he knew that Lapino was going to betray him. Well, he concocted some crazy scheme. I used Lupino's betrayal against him and it would blow up in space. Maybe he was overthinking this. Well, that would be a first. Dirty and bloody, Renato finally reached Lupino.
Then I want to say
practicing his
Zenobia.
Renato recognized the cards. It was Lupino's favorite deck. Oh, I thought you were in danger. I am. The Ravens are coming. Oh, the prison thing.
Yeah,
right, yeah, we discard only 53 ducats. So we made a deal.
So if you had triangles, what you gotta
people, actually, for weasels. Now, I got a brilliant plan to kidnap Zenobia. We capture Zenobia, we find out what she knows. And that's the whole war right there.
Wait,
Easy
there's
peasy, lemon squeeze. Capture the Emperor's greatest general, who happened to also be a deadly sorcerer, and, oh, his only daughter? That would be worth it. And it would be nice to see her. He always had a soft spot for her. And he felt sure she had one for him. On the other hand, he could still get to the core of the Sky Ripper, even if he couldn't get the whole thing. It must have great power.
Apparently someone in Axe used to live in Nolans. So, if we ever go there. Wait, Zenobia, the first one?
Zenobia wasn't just the Emperor's daughter, of course. She'd been Renato's best friend in Sword Fu School. And you're still mad for her? The rabbit reminded him. The rabbit had a point. And Renato had a feeling she'd want to see him again. Who knows what could happen between the two of them this time around? She knows all his plans, chuckled the master spy. She won't give them up easily. She'll tell the interrogators, all right, said Lupino. Taking her would change the game, all right. The city was already under Zenobia's control. I had to admire.
He's reduced to 1 health.
Renato shivered at the thought of Zenobia at the mercy of the interrogators. Could he really turn her over to them? But this was war. It wasn't meant to be pretty.
Do you remember what you're supposed to do?
Cody?
Is it reject plan or accept plan? Damn it, Natalie.
Gonna reject the plan.
Yeah, I think it's reject plan.
was Lupino urging him to capture Zenobia? Obviously, it was a trap. But you never knew how Lupino thought. Sometimes his plans were so convoluted they did the exact opposite to what Lupino wanted. There must be some way to play on that, Bernardo thought. So, what's this plan of yours? Use me as bait, said Lupino. And he outlined a slightly complicated plan that involved geese, a net, setting the Farfarer a little bit on fire, Lupino dressing as an old blind toad, and Renardo hiding inside a monstrous water melon. What could possibly go wrong? Thought Renardo.
Playing me some Fire Emblem.
Oh, go ahead. I'm sure you know better, said Lupino. Renardo slinked through Zenobia's ship, making no sound at all. Where were her guards? Finally, he reached her bedroom. She was curled up in her bed. Oh, he'd forgotten how beautiful she was. How sleek. How soft. He tapped her on the shoulder with his sword. She became smoke. And he noticed he had a blade to his throat. Stay a while, purred a familiar voice. Did you really think you could capture me? Zenobia said as the ship lifted off. Now I just wanted some privacy, Renardo said. Renardo knew she still had feelings for him. Maybe he could just...
Don't do that one.
But was timing right for that?
Do that one.
Did you ever wonder why the Emperor adopted you? And he told her why. His Imperial Majesty wanted to bring the lost gods back. They could make him immortal. To seal the bargain, he needed a sacrifice.
Look at all those eyes looking at her.
Truly loved him. You're lying. She was furious. We can't prove that. I can.
Bastards.
So he set sail for the Nexus. Scientists at the observatory have resurrected one of his victims. Well, he's not exactly alive, but he can talk, and he can't lie. You took a big risk. You know, I could just cast a spell to make you tell me where the rebel base is, and you wouldn't consider that cheating? She frowned. Fine. Let's go get your witness. The rebellion had started after atrocities that the Empire hushed up. Renardo had rescued a priest whose order had been massacred for one book. He had slept in a burnt village. Dead kittens and puppies had come to tell him what the Emperor had done to them.
What is Carl doing? Also, I am also one away from finishing Resident Evil 7.
Damn. Damn, we're gonna be tied again. I'm playing that Fire Emblem game on the phone. And see, it's perked my interest. fuck? Is that you? Took a picture of you at a wrong time. It looks like you're having a good time though.
Have you got anyone good yet?
No, I haven't summoned anyone yet. I'm trying to get to 30 gems, and then I'll summon a bunch of people.
In Fire Emblem.
Because it's cheaper the more gems you have. So I figured I'd get get it until I can summon 5 people. So like that 5th person's worth only 3 gems.
She caught up with him. Don't you think I'd know if my father started practicing black magic? Why? Would you want to join in? Oh, no, I'd destroy his books and... All right, I suppose I wouldn't.
Is that character gone for good? Because that would suck. So, Fire Emblem games. They're like this. Yeah. But, like, I've played Fire Emblem games before. But if one of your character dies when you're playing Fire Emblem, you lose that character for good. Like, that character is dead. That's Katie.
Okay, sure. I guess she's feeling nostalgic.
Renato had been searching for a way to save the rebellion. Lapino wanted to capture
There is no permanent death.
Oh, that's awesome. I was like, no one in my team's died yet, but I was like, damn, if they have permanent deaths in this game, think about like you spend money to get like some super awesome character, and then that character dies. It's like, well, I didn't want that character anyway.
Also, how different is each of the story endings?
They're all pretty different.
I think even if you only make one decision different, like the ending is still pretty different. They do a good job of making it all unique.
Yeah, like the game is definitely unique, and like it does keep it interesting.
This is the entire game.
Yeah. You just do this fighting a whole bunch, and oh, bitches! So that's one trophy.
Well, no, I actually have to find one of the...
Yeah, you'll find one eventually.
The thingy things. The altars. I love you.
Oh, I know Minerva.
I know you.
You know where you are?
The observatory was a burning hulk. Dead scientists and black feathers everywhere. The ravens had taken care to burn the reanimated witness to cinders. Zenobia stared around, shocked. The scientists had been neutral. They had no part in the rebellion. Take me to your council, she said, shaken. I have things to tell them. It was what Renato...
Dang, you might get 5 platinum trophies before me. It will take me about 40 minutes to finish mine.
The rebel base was secret.
Yeah, it's gonna take us about maybe 20.
The Emperor's daughter there.
Probably less than that.
She did love him.
I think you can beat like each mission. So there's 2 more little missions that we gotta do. Each one's probably like about 10 minutes.
I think you can do that entire story about her.
Insisted Lapino. No, I don't trust her. Nobody changes sides that fast, said Renato.
I better go to the base. Let them know you've got her,
Lapino said. For some reason, Renato wasn't sure that was a good idea. Just meet me at the far side of the mountains. There's a shuttle here I can take.
Always has to be your way, doesn't it?
Said Lapino.
Why does Lapino has a super deep voice?
It's probably first speaker, Jim.
Okay. That would explain it. That sounded like Far Speaker too. Because I'm like, Lapino's voice is Not like that. I'm gonna
What is your next game you're going to work on?
Zenobia was still shaking as they got out. I didn't know, she said. The Ravens kept it secret. At first they sacrificed prisoners, then villages near the frontier, and then an orphanage. Kittens and puppies. Sometimes he'd come back to the palace and it was like there were glowing things behind his eyes. I was so busy. I'll clear a path for us, Renato told Zenobia, so the Ravens don't see you. Zenobia came up as he massaged his sore arm. Her eyes were wet. He's been saying strange things. He asked me to do experiments. Some were wrong. They are banished, right? Said Renato. Gone forever. I mean, he couldn't actually bring the old gods back, could he? She didn't answer him. That frightened him more than anything.
It's not good. Messing up, Natalie. I'm not totally level up one person.
Where is one of those altar things?
No, the bad girl, she attacked my main hero. Like, knowing that my person could kill her. So my main hero killed her, of course. And that meant that she got the experience instead of like one of my weaker people. I want one of my weaker people to get the experience.
Renato wondered if he should have taken Zenobia to the rebel base for real. Maybe she wasn't playing him after all. After the bleak talk about the Emperor's dark secret, he was regretting his suspicion.
Oh shit! Alright, now finish it up.
They came up on an empty shack. He gestured her in. "Where's the base?" she asked, confused. "I thought we could talk a bit first."
"Oh, you think I'm playing you?" She was furious. "I'm betraying my father who picked me out of an alley, and you think I'm playing you?"
She lashed out. Her claws sliced fire into his face. Energy boiled in her other paw. But before she could kill him, he slashed his sword into her heart. She staggered. "I could have loved you, you son of a bitch." And then she died. Renato stood there for hours, unable to move. Finally, a ship landed near him. Apino had brought the Farfarer. On board the Farfarer, Apino couldn't stop grinning.
"I can't believe you actually killed her."
Why couldn't I trust her? Renato said. All he could feel was emptiness.
"You killed the Emperor's daughter."
You might want to run for it, if you care whether you live or die, that is. Since Renato didn't, he grabbed the wheel, and he sailed for the Imperial fleet.
Sure hard. I won!
You got a message?
Yeah, I did.
Renato had never felt worse. Zenobia had listened to him. He had trusted him. She had opened her eyes to her father's evil. Done everything he had hoped for. He had taken him to a dirty shack. Was he so used to lying that he couldn't trust even the girl he had always loved? There it was again. The back door to the portal that went to the center of the fleet. He could see the rebels reeling back as he plunged into the ranks of the Ravens. He'd had to kill the girl he loved, but he'd also blown the biggest opportunity they could have had to turn the Emperor's daughter against him. Nara could only laugh miserably. He was taking crazy chances now, swinging wildly. He expected the Ravens to take him at any moment, but they were running into him. No one wants to fight a man who doesn't care if he lives. No one wants to fight a hero.
Just kicking everyone's ass. I can't believe you killed Zenobia. That sucks.
She's so nice.
Good. Felt like I could have given.
Soon he'd confront the Emperor. Again. This time, he'd make an end of him. He'd screwed up last time, but he had a good feeling about it this time. He was exhausted. Could barely think. He wanted to stop thinking. The rebels were already finished, and he was the last. The Ravens were coming for him personally now, in waves. It didn't matter.
Almost done.
He was slick with his own blood, but it didn't matter.
We are
From
done.
a distance, he could see her.
Good job.
Embraced by a halo of light, holding her hand out to him. Had she forgiven him? Would she take him to the halls of the Valiant? Then he felt steel in his belly, and his chest, and his back. And he lay down, and he couldn't see her anymore.
Oh.
That seemed like it was gonna be a really good ending.
Woo! Ready? 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 Woo! Gray Fox is my pup. I don't know what that means, but Gray Fox is my pup.
Scale from 110. How fun was this platinum to get?
Scale from 1 to 10. How fun was the platinum to get?
I saw the 75.
Yeah. I mean, like, each of the stories were unique in themselves.
Yeah, like my own game, like complaint is like the monotony of the actual fighting.
Yeah.
Even with, like at first you got like power-ups that like really made a difference, and then eventually they just kind of had less of a return.
Yeah, it's like, well, I'm a god now, NBD. Fucking beat the game, motherfucker!
The clouds parted over the Isles of Boreas.
Now what's the next game brought?
The rebellion.
Dude, I don't know.
Ravens are scouting for the secret rebel base. They needed a game changer.
Natalie is gonna play herself. What? I don't play anything. Oh.